you also bring your experience of theater to the table as well. The scene where you are listening over the conversation after he becomes Sultan, and
Yeah,
then you just take a few steps back, and then you just run back once again. So it's like it's
yeah.
something which is almost like theatrical. He has already done Padmavati on in France, so he has taken those elements in terms of it's almost like a play in a way as well.
Yeah, that scene was so fun to shoot because he told me that based on the blocking, I came to the scene. He was like, "You're lying over there in the corner,
Right,
and this all is happening." And I'm like, "Oh," and he's
right,
like, "Why? What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, isn't there a point in the scene where he screams loudly? He screams, 'Karo!'
correct,
Right?"
right,
And so I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, so I feel like that would get him curious, so he would be there wanting to watch what's going on, and it's exciting for him." And so I was like, show me what you'll do. And so, I showed him this thing where I was there with the tiger and I'm watching, and then he shouts and I'm like, oh fuck, and I kind of back off and run back, and he loved it. So then, we made that part of the scene that.
right,
And I was so glad. I was overjoyed on many occasions that my director, who I've heard is one of the greatest in the country, and one of the most respected, was valuing my contributions to the scene, and was ready to change the shot breakdown and the blocking as a consequence. And it made me want to come up with more things. It made me want to improvise more. It made me want to always trying to find also a new way to come at the scene. And I could see that, Ranveer did this all the time. And so I was, really trying to follow in the footsteps of someone who already knows the world, already
right,
knows the Sanjay Leela Bhansali world.
right. Couple of more scenes. First is your introductory scene. You're presented in a very big screen manner.
Yeah.
The way you just make the presence felt is something which is very interesting. And apart from that, the scene where Itat Khan and Ranveer Singh, they end up having that dialogue that Sultan बनने के लिए गर्दन और इरादे दोनों मजबूत होने चाहिए. I wouldn't really give away about what really happens because the movie is still running.
Yeah.
So when you're just moving around, you're moving around in a certain manner. There is a certain amount of um, I'll protect this guy and come no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So those particular scenes, if you'd like to just recall them, powerful
Well,
scenes.
in the introduction scene, it was exactly as it was written. Uh, when I did the audition, that's the scene that I got, and I played it almost exactly the same. I just didn't know how I would be murdering those people. The audition scene, it ended with just me taking off the sheet and saying, jaan bhi de sakta hu.
Correct.
And I was very interested in finding out how this scene would be done, and I feel like the end result is something that actually perfectly encapsulates and perfectly introduces the character. It shows his loyalty, it shows his deadliness, it shows that he knows when to be still, he knows when to move, he knows how to. He's a bit cocky, he's a bit vain, he's a bit
Right.
proud. It shows that he sees in Allaudin Khilji immediately.
Right.
He sees somebody else like him, somebody who doesn't believe in all of these rules and all of this nonsense, and is also ready to do what is necessary to take what he wants.
Right.
And I feel like it also allowed him to be sultry and slightly seductive.
Yeah, he was.
And,
In the opening scene, especially, there was an element of. I'm sure that you must have built your body and everything for that particular scene itself.
right, yeah.
Yeah, and say talking about one more scene. Um, I think the only time maybe that Malik Kafur stops being uh, the that the trusted aide, or like in a way trusted aide, I would say, and just reveals that the personal equation that the two share.
Yeah.
When the fire takes place and he just comes on top of Allaudin Khilji, and the way he says that don't be childish, and it's serious. So the way that impersonal, the entire there's an element of very informality that comes
Yeah.
at that point of time, and Khilji doesn't respond to it in the similar vein as Malik Kafur is doing, and then he just gets back to being the trusted aide.
Right.
That's very interesting, actually. That
I think, yeah, in that moment, it's not about Sultan and slave. I think it's
correct.
about save the man you love, get him
Yeah,
out of there.
exactly.
Save the person you love. I know that lots will be talked about the bisexual, gay aspect of it, but I didn't think about it in terms of man or woman. I just thought, this is the person I love. I want to save them,
Correct.
and yeah, yeah, because I mean, that run in straight onto the bed, straight over him on the bed, right? I
Correct.
mean, that's how we wound up blocking it. And
Correct.
I think there are many moments where he tries to overstep, his bounds. There's one gesture that to me is one of my favorites in
Right.
the whole film. It's a really simple moment, but I just love doing it, and I remember feeling very, very good being able to do it, and that it was allowed, and everybody else seemed to run with it as well. Is when he says, I come in and I present the news that his paigam has been thukra diya hai. The Rajput king
Correct.
has said basically fuck you to your offer.
Right.
And I'm not saying it. Firstly, I'm not saying it sadly. I'm saying it with lots of mischief and lots of like, now what? Huh?
Right.
You want
Right.
Padmavati? She's not coming. Now what?
Correct.
And he says, get ready for war. And Merunissa says, Khuda ka khauf khaye Khavind, ye kisi ki begum hai.
Right.
And he says, Malik, ask her what's available for dinner.
Correct. Khana
Right?
mein se. Right.
And I don't ask her. I just kind of like slightly move
Yeah,
my
obviously.
head.
I think
Right?
that's the most intimate moment of the show to share.
Yeah, I just move my head to the right. I put my hand up like, you heard it. Answer. Come on. You think I'm going to repeat his question? Who do you
Correct.
think you are?
Right.
And the fact that a slave has that audacity, I find that so interesting. That he's such a audacious, disrespectful person.
Right.
And that's why he loves him. Because I'm like that with everyone else except for him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, even the way whatever happens with Raghav Chetan and that wicked laughter, it was really that he's really enjoying it. Actually,
Yeah.
so it was really funny. Okay, and Jim, apart from I think obviously the movie is doing very well, and there are lots of pluses to the entire thing, the way it is going. But it has been extremely audacious journey for the movie as well. The way things have happened and the way it got delayed and all sorts of protests going on around it. Still are. Um,
Yeah.
do you find it a bit baffling?
Man,
You travel a lot. Do you find it a bit baffling? This is what exactly are they trying to say and do without seeing the film?
it goes beyond my understanding. I'm completely baffled.
Right.
I wish I had more to say on it, but the end of my argument is like, wait, you haven't seen the film, so that's my whole argument has been the whole time has been like, but you haven't seen the film, and for me, it does not go past that first point. Anything else said after that is like, but you haven't seen the film.
Right.
That's all I can say, and I'll say that forever. I'll just be like, but how do you know?
But still,
How did you feel about it all?
no. See, we are from media, so obviously we try to present things as objectively as we can because you really don't know what can happen when what can happen. But the fact is that obviously the fact is that I think everyone should have taken a stand. Everyone, like say personally, I took a stand as well in whatever
Yeah.
capacity we could, and even I've had my share of abuses and all those things coming in on social media. But the
Yeah.
fact is that it is really baffling that you're just getting down to the level of that we will kill someone and we will have like a bounty of this many amount of crores and the fact is that people are getting away with it. They're still being invited to the newsrooms and news channels are inviting them. They're still getting that respect. Uh, that in itself is baffling. That someone who's issuing these death threats,
Yeah.
they're criminals. Yeah, just treat them like criminals, the way they should be treated. Why are you just
Yeah.
giving them that sort of dignity or respect in the first place? So that is baffling as well because it just went to another level altogether. And one doesn't know as to what the future holds now. That you
Yeah.
may do something tomorrow, and anyone can just get up and start asking questions because Om Puri has played Khilji 26 years back
Yeah,
in Shyam Benegal's Discovery of India.
yeah.
So it's like, and there was a serial a few years back as well. So it's like really bizarre that why now? Why this sort of response now?
I think movements in general
Right,
uh, like to attach itself to something that is already huge.
right.
You know, so just now there are many things floating around. About the film, including these protests that are continuing, and I think it's just a way to piggyback on a point. You know.
Yeah, that's true. The most bizarre one is that it has come today. Maybe that
Hmm.
there was a by-election in Rajasthan for two Lok Sabha seats and one assembly seat. So the ruling party BJP has lost all of them, all three seats. So
Oh
this
wow.
guy Mr. Kalvi
Huh.
of Karni Sena, he's saying that they didn't realize that they let Padmaavat get released and they've had to pay the price for that.
Wow.
So you can't beat that logic actually, and it never released in Rajasthan anyways.
Right.
So I don't know. So it's like really baffling actually, but that's the sort of debate that we are in these today, and let's see what the future holds. Anyway, so what are you doing next after this, Jim?
Well, there's a web series that I'm a part of called Made in Heaven. That's
Oh,
Zoya Akhtar and Nitya Mehra have helmed it.
correct. Okay.
Uh, I really enjoyed working with both of them, and also Prashad Nair and Alankrita Srivastava. All four are directors on the project.
Oh, okay. I
But
like to
I found it a very nice opportunity just to get to know Zoya and Nitya better, and I really love them. I think they're lovely people, and I'm very interested in seeing how this web series turns out because it's really a big project. It's a
Correct.
fairly big. It's nicely mounted, and my part is not that big, but I think there were quite a few meaty scenes to be a part of. So I enjoyed shooting them a lot. I guess I'm some version of a not a good guy in this either, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's more of a confused guy than a out and out bad guy.
Right.
He's trying to figure something out. He's trying to understand the situation that he's not completely in control of. So
Right.
I think that I'm about to start another film in 2 days, but it's a complete secret, and they've asked me not to speak about it at all. So
Okay.
as soon as they let me, I'll text you all the details.
Absolutely. No, no problem. All right. So enjoy the success right now because it's. I think it's just hitting the roof right now. Too many people are watching it right now. It's like
uh,
and even overseas, it's one of the biggest hits so far, especially in North America. So
yes,
congratulations, and we hope that it just keeps going and you keep on getting the deserving praise that you've been getting actually.
thank you, buddy. Thank you very much, man.
Anytime, man. Take care. All the best.
Take care. Feel better.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. Hopefully.